Hi up my ducks, it's me, Charlie. Welcome to a new episode of Dear Society. If you're new here, like I say, my name's Charlie. Today's episode, I love it. I absolutely love doing this. Is an interview with Jordan. She was part of the same travel MLM as me and the two communities that I was part of. We have quite a different story. She was 18, 19 when she joined, so she's quite a bit younger than me. I thought it would be great to get her on so she can share her story and get her message out there. So we hopped on a Zoom, we had a chat, we got on our soapbox and spoke about all things Inteletravel and TS Life. We spoke a bit about TS Life, about the cults and things. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoy this video. Please show Geordie some love, lots of love in the comments and like. Remember, please to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps get this message out there. And if you want to see a part 2, let us know. We're all here for it.
Right, introduce yourself first.
Oh, I'm Jordan. I was in Teletravel for I was in there for a year, just over a year. Over a year. I made no money, not a single penny, and the only reason I actually genuinely stayed was because I was hoping for the year money back guarantee. That's why I stayed.
So how did you join then? Who was your
a girl called Sophie, but she actually left after I was in there for 2 or 3 months. She left really early on, and I was just left on my own. So I asked a lot for help, and she would always just be kind of ignore me or put me off. So I didn't know that you weren't allowed to ask everyone for help. So I would ask people for help, and then I'd get a message off saying, "Hi, can you only message your upline?"
That's ridiculous. The whole point, I always thought the whole point of having a community and the chat was so you can help each other. So if your upline is busy, you can ask in those chats and we can help each other. Surely that would make sense. So I never really got that. I used to be told to tell my downlines, oh, someone's asked a question in the group chat, make sure you tell them they're not allowed to ask it in that chat. I ended up making a secret chat for my team where they were allowed to ask questions.
It's so stupid. I asked quite a few questions in the chat. I remember I spoke to for help once because I just couldn't get something. I don't even know what it was. It was probably something stupid. And she was messaging me for ages, and then she was like, well, who's your upline? And every time I asked somebody else for help that wasn't my upline, they were like, who's your upline? Well, why does it matter? Well, it's obviously because I'm not paying them, and they don't want to help. And yeah, I had messaged me a few times saying, can you just message your upline? And then I was like, well, my upline's left. She, I'll take you under my wing. I was like, oh, okay then.
So she didn't even know that your upline had left?
No, well, she messaged me saying oh, I've tried to message her and she's not replying, so I don't know what's going on with her. And because I said she hasn't been replying, so I gathered that she'd left. And she's like, oh, she's not answering me either. I'm guessing she's left. Blah blah blah. I'll take you under my wing. And I never really messaged her because I was like, well, why would she leave? But I think she was going through the same sort of thing as me, where she was backing off quite a lot, and then she'd come to me sorry, I've been so busy at work, I've been a bit of a rubbish upline, not helping you and stuff. And I was like, it's fine. She was like, it just makes me really sad to see that you're making all the effort and doing this. And so she was seeing that I was actually putting in effort and I was putting in work.
I saw that you always did as well. That's the thing. They can't turn around and say that you didn't put the work in, because you did. And that's why I really wanted to talk to you about it, because I know that you did the work and went on calls and stuff. I used to see you on them.
I know, I used to see you with a bowl of cereal or my chins hanging out. I was in bed. It was so stupid because the stupid o'clock called 5:30 or whatever. I used to wake up for them, genuinely. My boyfriend, I had to be so quiet because everybody else is asleep. And I don't own my own house, so I live with my boyfriend's parents, so I had to be really quiet not to wake everybody up. Couldn't just go downstairs and make a tea like everybody else. And I was sat there with his headphones on, and it'd be that boring. They'd be like, you gotta do this, blah blah blah. And then for the rest of the hour, they'd be like, nothing. I'd be falling asleep. And then I got to the point, I was like, I am not waking up for this. What's the point?
How did you did someone approach you, or did you?
Yeah, so Sophie approached me on Instagram. And I was really quick to sign up because the whole travel thing signed me up. And like everybody, you're not told like you have to recruit people, and you're not told like that's the way that you make money. And I just presumed that because I used to go on holiday quite a lot like yourself, that, oh my God, I'm going to get amazing deals, I'm going to get this, that and the other. And I fell for it so quick because of the whole travel thing. And I was like,
yeah, same.
Yeah. I was like, come on then, let's go. Like I never really thought, oh, I doing it. Like when you used to see like Marcella and she'd be like, oh, you earn 20 grand a month. I always thought it was just from booking travel.
Same.
Like, and then obviously they were like, oh, you need to come on this call. And then they were like, message people this, that and the other. And I was like, but what for? Why am I messaging them? That I was just literally left on my own. God. And every time they were like, one nose a step closer to a yes. And I was like, it's really not.
No, that's it. So when you joined, we was in TPL, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought so. I thought that you was in TPL as well. Yeah, so we had that wrath of all them horrible calls, didn't we? And it was the start of last year, and she was doing like calls in the morning and in the evening, like called Hustle Hour, and then like Success Club, and like No Excuses or whatever.
Yeah, and like Success Sunday or something.
Yeah, and if I didn't get on that call, like it would be dead weird. Like I'd be sat round my boyfriend's parents' house, clock watching, like, I've got to go now because I've got to get back, I've got to get on that call at 7.
Yeah, so literally same. I remember obviously because last year it was so nice and sunny. We just sat in the garden like the whole time because we couldn't do anything else. And I remember looking at the clock like, oh my God, I've got to go up at 7. But I didn't ever tell my boyfriend's parents or anything, but they probably were like, why the hell is she disappearing? Where's she going? Like all this and that. And it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't get it very often to sit in the garden and chill and like in the sun. Like I'm taking advantage of it. And they used to do the 12 o'clock ones, but at the start of lockdown, my boyfriend actually he worked from home and his break was 12 o'clock, and we always used to go and take the dogs for a walk and go out for like that hour, and that's just coincidentally what time they did the call. So in the end I was like, I can't go for a walk because I've got to do this. But then I was like, you know what, this is only an hour off, like what the hell.
It makes me sad, like when I look back at how much I've missed out on because I would be like, no, I've got to go on that call.
Yeah, literally.
It's really bad. Did you get asked to do any like bookings or anything? Like did you have, I know you didn't make any money, but did you do any quotes?
Yeah, so I had one of my dad's friends message me and say like, I want to go on this holiday, this like to, I think it was Cyprus, for like her and her 3 kids and her husband. And I didn't understand the booking at all. And because the training videos, as much as you watch them, like it's still not like I'm not a person that learns from like just watching a video and getting on with it. I have to actually physically do it and have someone there.
Yeah.
And this is where I was like messaging like other people, like I need help, I can't do it. And I was messaging in the group and no one was replying. And I felt so on edge and on the spot. And I tried to do it through like Major, and it was coming up like stupidly expensive, but I didn't know if I was doing it right.
Yeah, because that website.
Yeah, it's just all over the place. And I told her the quote and she was just like, oh, it's expensive. And I was like, yeah, it is, to be fair. But it was the school holidays as well. So I just thought, well, you are looking at the wrong time. But then I purposely didn't like advertise to sell in travel because I didn't understand it.
Yeah, well, I think that's the same with like a lot of people, even like the leaders. Who was it? One of the teams, I think it or whatever, in their training guide thing, it actually said, don't post travel quotes because then you'll have people asking you to do quotes. Or don't post about travel because you'll have people asking you for holiday quotes. So it just shows it's nothing to do with holidays, is it?
It's literally not. It's literally not. And they say, oh, we're always here to help, this, that, and the other. We're all friends, blah, blah, blah. But like nobody will help you. And I was like always on my own. I remember like ranting to like one of my friends and my boyfriend, like, I need help, but I can't do it. I can't like get it. And they're like, why don't you ask for help? And I'm like, I am, but I get told off.
Yeah. Like, that being at school.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, we're forever friends. But all they talk about is the business. Like you don't talk about anything else.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I've met like quite a lot of them in real life.
Oh so, God, I haven't.
I genuinely thought they was my friends. I was like, oh, these are nice people.
But they don't talk about anything else but the business.
No.
Well, the business. It's not a business.
No, it's not. It's a scam. And do you think that breaking off to Palm Trees and Paycheques was the right thing to do? Like, do you think
I didn't understand what that was about. I literally was like, okay, why are we going into like a new WhatsApp? Why are we going onto a new Facebook? I literally didn't get it. But because I didn't have my upline, obviously under a wing, I didn't want to ask, because I just thought, well, I asked for help. But if I ask this, like, God knows what I'm gonna get. Like, I get kicked out. But you know, like, I didn't get that at all. I still don't know why they moved on.
Because I was a leader, I got like told beforehand that it was happening. And from my understanding was they didn't like the way that TPL were doing things, and they didn't like the fact that, you know, it was shouty and screamy and blah, blah. But I think Palm Trees and Paycheques got worse.
Yeah,
it literally got like, I think it was probably the worst thing that they've done, because it also highlights the fact, so when you've got TPL and you've got 6,000 people or whatever, they haven't got that many directors, but there's probably 10 or something. So it looks like you've got quite a lot of people doing well. Whereas in Palm Trees Paycheques, they sort of isolated themselves to a group of 500 people, and then there's only 3 people earning more than earning anything.
Earning literally anything.
Yeah. So it's sort of, to me, I think it was a silly thing to do, because it highlights the fact that no one's making any money, only those people at the top. And again, they sort of said that they wanted, one of the other reasons was to give us all more freedom, so we could like do calls and stuff. And I had people in my team that left a long time ago now, who actually asked, they said, can I do like a meditation call? Can I do this call?
Yeah.
You know, this is what it's about now. Now we can have a bit more control over what we do. And they were told, and then half an hour before the call, did it instead. She said, oh, no, I'm doing it. I'm doing mindfulness. I'm doing meditation. Because she wants to be, it's like she wants to be seen as the top dog.
I did. I really hated it. I don't know what it was, because I hated listening to her.
It was, the worst thing was, like, them Sunday calls, I didn't get it, because people would come off it and be like, I'm so motivated now, I've got a fire in my belly again. And I'd come off it thinking,
that's I think why I hated it, because I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly. And like, you just come off feeling like, and I used to get my team message me as well, be like, oh my God, like, why do we need to go on that? Who do they think they are talking to us like that? And then I was in an awkward position, because like, I'd want to sort of say, you know, my team aren't happy with that call. So I did. And then I got, well, the reason they're not happy with that call is because they know they're not doing the work. They know that they feel guilty, and that's why they're having to go at us. And I believed that then. It was sort of like us versus them. Yeah.
It's like like you keep saying, it's just like a brainwash thing. I've actually got you on the TV right now. I was watching one of your videos while I was getting ready.
How much money like did you pay out? It was like, it must have been about 600.
The whole year, it was the whole year. Yeah. So it was 156 or whatever it is, like upfront fee, and then it was like 50. Was it? Well, I think it worked out about £50 a month, to be fair, because although they say it's only £45 or £46, but I got charged
load of fees.
Loads of currency fee, currency exchange.
Same. Foreign exchange fee.
Yeah.
Transaction fee.
Yeah. I was like, what's this about? And I did actually mention it, because somebody said in one of the chats that, oh, how much is it, like monthly or whatever? And I said, well, it's meant to be this, but I'm actually getting charged this because of the exchange rates or something. And I don't know, nobody actually replied to that. So that was like right at the start though, because I was like, what are all these little fees for?
I didn't know as well. There's like a service charge of 2.5% that gets paid to them as well, which I didn't know. Your upline gets 10% of any travel things as well if you book any travel. So just like, you know, when you joined, were you like told that you could just do the travel bit, or was you like, no?
I did not know there was the business side of it. And I tried to book something on TUI like yourself, and it was so much more expensive, and I was like, why? But then I figured the booking fee was into it. And also, like, we had a massive holiday going to Mexico, and they wanted to book something, and I remember saying, but I can't like extend onto it. I'll just email the hotel. But then obviously like they don't do anything. Like when you email, they don't care. But yeah, I was never told anything about the business. I was just like, I say like the business, it's not like the recruiting side. Like I was never told
the pyramid's part.
Yeah, literally. I was only told about selling travel.
I think that's how Marcella and that have done so well.
Yeah.
Is because I think the first couple of 1,000 people that were recruited weren't even told about the recruitment side at all.
No, I wasn't.
No.
And that's when they were like, oh, you need to send out 30 messages a day. I was like, well, what am I messaging people for? Like,
I didn't get it. I was like, I'm a message.
They come to me.
Yeah, I was like, what do I message? Because I remember when I asked about it, like I said, oh yeah, do you ever have to message people, or do people approach you? Obviously meaning about booking holidays. No, I've never ever had to ever message anyone. People have always approached me about it. So then I joined, and then the next day when I was on this call and being told to message people, I was like, hang on, yesterday I was told that I didn't need to message anyone. Today, like, what do I do? Message someone and say, hi, do you want to book a holiday? It doesn't make sense.
And she always said in one of the calls, it was like, you can't just book on your stories and expect people to come to you. You've got to go out there and like make people come book, like you've got to message them. And I was like, why? Like, that's weird. Like when it landed in my DMs, I was like, But the travel side sold it to me, and I wish I'd have been like, you know what, nah. But my boss, when I was working, when I was hairdressing, like when my announcement post, somebody at work saw it and told my boss, and she was like, I really don't think that this is a good thing. I think it's dodgy, like blah blah blah. You paying into it, it's a pyramid scheme. And I was like, no, it's not. I'm selling travel. And like I was like, and she was like, one day you'll like be like, no, and say, I wish I'd listened. I was like, no, I won't. And now I'm like, I haven't admitted it to her because I don't work for her anymore. But I was like, oh my god, she was right.
It's quite scary, isn't it? Like the way that they make you believe that it's not, and that when people say things like that, you just shut them down straight away. It's crazy.
I wish I'd have listened to her. And my nan was as well. She was like, it just seems a bit dodgy. And I was just like, Nan, you don't know anything about social media, like, you know.
That's what I said with my granddad. He was like, I think it's one of them pyramids. I know they've been banned for years, but they'll find any way to make money. And I was like, nah, of course not. Like, I'm booking holidays, granddad. And at the time, I had booked some holidays. And he was like, nah, it's not right. It's not right. And it won.
No, and I wish I'd have listened, but what can we do? We learn from mistakes, eh?
Exactly. And like speaking out, like you sharing your story and stuff will help a lot of people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So many.
It is predominantly girls, but there are so many like young girls that they get. Like obviously I was 19, and they got me in because obviously you see like these like he's like what 23 or 24, and you think, oh my god, like how is she like that age and earning this much when she's not? But when you're that young, you think, oh my god, I can do that. Like look at Marcella, you're like, oh my god, she's making so much. And I remember I actually messaged Marcella like, you're such an inspiration, I can't wait till I'm like you. And I'm just thinking, what the hell was that? Cringe.
I did as well. Like I thought that I was just listening to somebody's podcast, and they were saying that they'd like messaged the leader before in another organization, and the leader was like, look down, and I'm like, why would you message me? And I could just imagine her being like that. Like when I used to message her and like write on her stuff all the time, like, you're such an inspiration. So did I. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like little mini Marcella. And now I'm like, Jesus, especially because she's from nothing like me. Yeah. So Grace and Marcella are both like from the same area as me. So I was like, wow, these are real people.
Yeah.
But now I also know that they've both come from well-off families. So
you can kind of see that. Like, although she's like building up a house and getting a new car, it's not come from just the business.
Like, no. And another thing, like they all have so many, if they're making this much money from this business, why have they all got 2 or 3 other different businesses on the go?
Yeah, I saw something, I think it was on your video. When was it? Was it on your video or something about Marcella being in like
she's in 3.
In what?
She's in 3 companies.
Really?
I said hello. In Alex, who was on my last video, he said that she'd been doing training for FM World, so I don't know if she's been at the top of that as well.
And Fred Brooks, what about him? Like, I saw something about him being a bit of a scam artist. Like, I thought it's $2.
This is the thing, he's a complete con artist. He's lied about everything. He told, so I like literally used to sort of worship him as well, because Marcella worshipped him.
Yeah.
So I did.
I've got his $2. I want to burn them. It cost me money. Like 90 quid or something.
Yeah, that's it. We were all encouraged to buy his stuff, weren't we? And that shows now, because Marcella and Fraser are really close. So, you know, like in his books, how he always says that he's built his business from social media, he didn't know anyone, he was a complete introvert and whatnot. That's a load of crap. Basically, his dad was one of the first, him and his dad were the first and second people in a company called My Shopping Genie, which got shut down for being an illegal pyramid scheme.
Right.
So that's where he made all his money. That's where he made all his connections. So when I read that, and I was like, hang on. So if he's lied about all of this, and then Marcella's copying him, you know what I mean? And he's copying his dad, and his dad is also friends with convicted criminal con men who have been done for fraud.
Oh my God.
Like, it's crazy when you look into it. If you have a look on Miss Bonley's videos on YouTube, she's got like 2 deep dives about Fraser, and it's honestly, it blew my mind. And that's another thing. I was like, we're all worshipping this guy, and he's a scam artist.
Yeah, literally. I can't believe I bought his books. I should never have bought them.
I bought his books. I bought his courses. I literally listened to his
I got a free course and I never got it.
Really?
Yeah, because I bought his book. It came with a free course.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah. No, I don't think any of us got that, did they? I think the only reason that he was on that Zoom call with us was because he wanted to plug his book, and then we all went and bought it, didn't we? So
yeah, because he was like, "Oh, you can get it for free. All you have to do is pay postage." But postage was like 20 quid.
No, it was 20 quid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like, nah. and then I bought it like further down the line.
Yeah, and then when you tried to buy it, it tried to like sell you so much other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, when Amazon back in day when it tried to sell you Prime, and it was like, "Are you sure you don't want it?" And you were like, "Yes." Are you sure? And it asking you different ways. Like, that's how his website was.
Yeah.
Like, the book. It
was like scammy. I didn't even, when I started coming up with all that, I was like, I've actually just been scammed. This is a real website. Like, it doesn't feel. So what happened with the TS? So you were going to join TS last?
Yeah, so obviously Emily left, and I didn't know anything of it. I just followed Emily on Instagram, and I saw that she basically left. And I was like, oh, what's this? Like, I'd left a lot before Emily, actually, but I didn't tell anybody. I didn't message anybody. I just sort of left because nobody really spoke to me, because obviously I asked for help. So yeah, and then she did a poll like, do you want more info? So I asked for more information, and I didn't say, but in my head I was like, leave it with me, because I didn't want to reply straight away, because I didn't want to, one, jump straight into another business, and two, like, I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. I was going in the middle of like losing my job and everything, so I was like, I need to sort of think on this. And she kept messaging me like, hey, you still like blah blah blah, still joining? And she kept sending me things to post on my story. And she's like, because there's 2 ways you can kind of sign up. You can pay up front, but you don't pay a monthly fee, so you pay for like product, or you can like sell the products before and then buy them and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a go at that, because I thought, I'm not letting any more money go. I'd lost like £600 or whatever to Inteletravel, and I did a few, like 1 or 2 Facebook posts, and I had a couple of people interested, but they were like, after Christmas, because nobody wants to like lose weight before Christmas. Like, what's the point? And she was like, oh, you should tell them that it's like really good before it and that. And like, maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
And then I basically just added quite a lot of stuff on my Instagram stories, because I don't really do Facebook. And I had one of my best friends actually message me and be like, I think it's dodgy. I think it's like laxatives, like, because you can't lose weight without going to the toilet and giving you the shit. And I was like, no, they're all natural ingredients. And I was about this. I was like, I really don't know. And this is one of the things where I said at the start, I was like, you need to let me think about it, because like so many people around my age, I don't know if it's like around you as well, I don't know if it's just my area, but so many people would like slag people off for like selling like weight loss coffee, weight loss this, everything. So I was like, I don't really want stuff written about me, because I almost didn't really agree with it either, because I was like, I find it really rude. If I had some people message me like, hey, I've got this weight loss coffee, are you interested? I'm like,
I find it really triggering.
Lose weight. Yeah. And so I was putting things on my stories, and my friend was like, I don't think this is good, blah blah blah. And I did have a big think about it, and I was like, and I know she was like trying to WhatsApp, but I got quite offended, because I was like, no, it's all like free, like it's not anything bad. And I was like, and I was telling, I was like, I'm not sure, I've had people message me about this. She went, well, they're not your real friends. And I was like, well, instantly I was like, this is like Inteletravel.
Yeah.
And I ended up, so I just left it at that point. And then she messaged me saying, hey, there's like some free, the company person is giving like free memberships out, do you want one? And I was like, it won't hurt, it's free, I don't have to do it. I thought, well, maybe well. And then I was thinking I could order some of the things maybe for me, because you get it obviously cheaper. And I got one. I did get a free space, and I didn't really do anything with it, because I just thought, like, I looked at it and I thought, I don't want to be one of those people that sells like weight loss stuff. I don't want to be one of those people that make people feel bad because they're thinking, oh, she's saying I need to lose weight. Like, I'm not that person. And I just left it. And then I had quite a few people that were from Inteletravel but were now under TS now message me like, hey, what are you actually doing? Are you in this or are you not in this? And I was like, well, one, it's none of your fucking business. And two, like, that a lot of them were like, oh, you're still in Inteletravel. That's how they got into me. And they were almost like, oh, you can join TS Life, it's amazing. Like, obviously if you put off by it, then I understand, like, you can have a think about it. And I was like, no, I am actually kind of in it, but I'm not doing it. Like, someone was like, they were like, what are you actually doing? Are you in or out? I'm so confused. And I was like, well, it's none of your business, you don't even know me.
The way that a lot of people have jumped from one to the other, like the way that you've just said then, and I was the same. I feel like there was a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And as soon as I put one thing on my like Instagram story, and instantly had message me saying that, oh wow, who did you join with? And I looked at the message and I was like, oh shit. But I don't know why I fear it. I don't even know her in person, do you know what I mean? But then I was going to reply to her, and before I had the chance, she deleted the message, and I was like, oh, okay then. And then she messaged me on WhatsApp saying, hey, I noticed you joined TS Life, are you still with the travel business? And I was like, no, I left ages ago. That's funny that she she looks out for people but didn't notice that I'd left.
Exactly.
And I don't know where my money was going, because it goes to your upline and then up to their upline, but I had no upline.
So when I leave, so I've still got a team. So those people, if they're still in there, I'm not sure, that £3, well, their monthly fee, will then go straight. So it already goes up. So it goes, for example, this is what I'm going to do, like a diagram thing, like a big video on this to show how the people at the top of the money. Yeah. So £3 from, say, just say I would say a random name, Joe blogs here.
I literally was thinking Joe.
Were you? That's it.
I was going to say Joanne or Joe, yeah.
So I've got Joe, Jinx now. So they pay their, £42? And then £3 of that goes up to me. £3 would have gone to Grace. Then £3 would have gone to so then that goes to her upline, which is so how many people's that? That's 6 already, Nick. 5 or 6. Whoever his upline is, which will then go up to Lucy, which will then
keeps going up until it runs out, basically.
Then goes to Marcella, which then goes to Natalie Graham. So that's where the money goes. Like, I don't know if that's their upline, but do you get what I mean? Like, that's how it goes. We are always going to be feeding into Marcella, regardless of who people like join with or whatever. It's always going to be feeding to the people right at the top, and that's where all our money was going. And that's why I got so angry, because I don't know about you, but I was told it was going on like website fees.
Website fees, insurance in case anything happened, but well, not really insurance, but like in case like the hotel was flooded or set on fire, like people for 24/7 support. And isn't it so coincidental? Like everyone's like, oh, they answer like 24/7, they're always there. And anytime, I always used to see people like in the chat like, oh, they're not answering.
No,
I haven't been able to get in touch with them for like 3 days. And it's like,
I left in January, right? And it's took me constantly emailing every single like, so they've only just replied to me and we're in May. And they were proper funny with me. They were like, yes, we're sorting it. And I was like, well, you could have replied to me for the past 5 months. Like,
they were funny with me. So I purposely stayed just to get their year back. And I know that I hadn't got like, because there's like 7 or 9 things, isn't there, that you have to get it. And I'd literally missed 2. And it was the business card in your first month, but how was I meant to know? And booking a cruise.
We weren't told, were we?
No, but how could I book a cruise when we were in a pandemic? It would not have gone ahead. And I just thought, well, can't you let me off these 2 things? And like, no, there are T&Cs. And I just thought, you know what? Not even worth it. Like, I'm gone. So that's why I just left it. Because I thought, yeah, it's a lot of money, but I was like, they're not going to give me back. It's their T's and C's. Like,
no. But what did you think about the training videos? I was told to put them on my screen and then do whatever I wanted and just let them run through.
Yeah. Wow. I kind of wasn't, but I remember watching them thinking, this is boring. Like, who's really going to sit through this?
Yeah.
Because obviously you had to watch them to go into the next one, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I did sit and watch them, but I was always like, what's the point?
It was all to do with like storing information and GDPR stuff, wasn't it? It wasn't anything to do with travel. So really, to be qualified as a travel agent, we didn't actually have to do anything to do with travel. It was crazy.
No, and I know you say you were given the answers for yours. I wasn't, but they were like, I think I struggled on one answer.
Yeah.
And like one question. So I did say, which one is it? But then I guessed because they took so long to reply that I was just thought, I ain't waiting for them. So I just put it anyway and I passed it. And I was just like, I don't think you can fail. That's what I thought. Like, I think now, I thought, oh my God, I've passed that first time, I got 100%. And now I think, like, you probably can't fail.
Oh, I failed.
Oh, did you?
It took me about 12 goes.
You reset it.
Well, that was because I don't know. I'm not very good at like the way that the questions are worded.
It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah, it was difficult to understand like the question. I was like, I don't get what it's asking me for. Like especially the true or false ones, because I was like, I don't know what the statement's really saying. It doesn't make any sense.
It just rambled, and it was like, what does that even say?
Yeah, and as what I like when Alex came on, he was mentioning about like spelling mistakes and stuff. And
I saw that. Yeah.
All on the Intele.
I didn't notice it back then. I didn't notice it, but yeah, it does make sense now.
But I'm glad, like with TS now, I have had people who were with Palm Trees Paycheques who have gone to that tell me that it is the same environment, the same sort of, the same praising of people that are doing really well and everyone else sort of being ignored and not being answered questions. And that's coming from someone that's in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that...
I went on one of the calls for the TS Live, like a introduction kind of one, like basically like a 3-way chat, but well, like Palm Trees and Paycheques do, they do like an introduction.
Oh, like I was asked to go on those loads of times by
yeah, I went on, I think I went on one. I think I went on 2 calls in total. One was the induction one, and it did sound really good. But then like there was this whole leg situation, and I was like, what? I don't get that. Like, you have to build legs when you join somebody up. And I was like,
yeah, it's so confusing the way that one works. So obviously now looking back, Inteletravel is a bit crazy really, because you have to have 9 people. Well, you have to have 100 people to be earning any sort of proper income, don't you? Yeah. And you have to have 9 people to unlock the matrix. Now I'll tell you right now, when I unlocked the matrix, nothing happened.
No, you see, like, oh, she's earned the potential to win 8 How?
I thought that somebody became a gold builder about 2 days ago, and I was like, I need to debunk this whole like caption of, they have unlocked the ability to earn £88,000 a month. That's for them to earn £88,000 a month. That person is going to need like 20,000 people in the timeline. Yeah. Stupid. There's no way on this earth that anyone's going to be earning that. Like, no, there's not. Have you seen on the compensation like plan on the director thing? no one's got to a 6-star director to the top because they haven't got that many people in it.
No, they haven't got. No, I did notice that. It was on one of the videos, wasn't it?
With this leg thing, so I think this is how like the product ones work, from what I understand, is you have like 2 legs. So you have to have had, so they need to recruit 2 people to unlock a bright star or something, I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So when they've got 2 people, and then what happens is they build their people. So you've got 2 legs.
Yeah.
So say for example,
isn't it?
Yeah. So like, let's say for example, we've got, so she's
Mm-hmm.
recruited, for example, that they've recruited someone else from Intele, and someone else from Intele, and someone else, and someone else. Yeah. And that's, so then the person that started has got 2 very strong legs. Everyone else is building that leg for them.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I might be wrong. If then the person like at the top recruited someone, they can choose which leg it goes on.
Yeah, you can choose
so
which
you can
leg.
build people.
Yeah.
Which is really bad.
And that's what I didn't get. And I was just like, no, it just sounds like one of these like tic-tac. Sounds like one of these tactic things where...
Because I had somebody try to recruit me and like say that if I get 2 people, they'll be able to build my legs for me. And I thought, hang on, that sounds dodgy.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. So that put me off joining. That put me off joining that one. And then I researched into like what these legs and stuff was. And that's when I got into anti-MLM content and down the rabbit hole.
No, definitely. When I saw your video, I was like, oh my God, thank God someone has spoken about it. Because obviously I didn't really know like as much as you, because I wasn't as like involved, let's say. Because I didn't have a team, I hadn't booked anybody, and anytime, like I say, I asked for help from these friends, I didn't get any help, so I wasn't as involved, so I didn't really have as much like info as you did. And I was like, oh my God, yes, thank God someone has like spoke out about it. And I literally messaged you, but I didn't realize that you'd like made a new Facebook, so I don't think you even got it, so I messaged you on Instagram.
Yeah, well, when I don't know about you, like when I left, I really hated social media because we've been taught, haven't we, that it wasn't something fun. It was purely a business tool. Like, I only use social media as a business tool. I don't use social media for fun or for social. I only go on it. Social media is not time to be scrolling. Social
media is your own free time. Like, I remember like falling off. Like, I kept using the term falling off the horse. I was like, I've fallen off the horse and I can't get back on. I'm struggling to get on, but can I have some help? Because I kept asking for help so much that I kept like getting declined.
You didn't get any help.
I didn't know what to do. And she was like, oh, let's get on a call. Let's get on a call. And I was like, okay then. And she literally got on a call for me to set me a plan and goals. And she's like, you need to rebrand your Instagram. And I was like, but I like my Instagram.
Yeah,
like, it's my real life. And I don't post that often, because I'm not that exciting of a person. But she's like, you need to post every day. You need to like post like this, almost like it's like
top window's got to be open.
Yeah. Something like it's like a fake life. And I'm like, but I don't live like that. And she was like, you need to rebrand your Instagram. And I was like, well, what's wrong with my Instagram? Like, no.
No, and that was it. Like, I hated it. Like, when I came up, I was like, I don't want to go on social media because it reminded me like that the past.
Yeah, no, I get it. And she told me I had to change my profile picture on Facebook.
What?
Yeah.
You actually changed your profile picture?
Yeah, like update myself. Yeah. I was like, okay. It did, to be fair. Right? It'd been a few years, but I was like, all right then. I didn't take selfies. Yeah. I was like, all right then.
I just don't get it. I really don't.
No, so I was the same as you. Like, I don't do a lot of social media anyway. I don't post. But yeah, social media is your free time. Like, it is. Mm-hmm.
So I just hated it. So I was like, you know what? I was really quite triggered as well, because on my Facebook, I had a lot of people who are in MLMs and like messaging me. Like, still now, like, I'm logged in on my other Facebook on this computer here, and I've just seen I've got a message. Hello, Charlotte. I hope this message found you well. I hope it's okay to reach out and message you. You came across as a suggested friend on my Facebook and I saw you like to travel and explore the world. So this person, even though I've got my anti-MLM videos on there.
She's from Inteletravel. I had somebody from Inteletravel. Bear in mind, I signed up before her. Message me like in like the tactics, like, "Hey, how's your family? Haven't spoken ages." I was like, "Mate, we only were friends last week. We only became friends last week." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good, thanks, but just so you know, I am part of the Inteletravel," because that was one of the things, like, do not message people that are in your checks. And I thought, you ain't checking very much. It's in my bio. But like, I had her literally, like, I know that the announcement posts were very similar, but I made mine so that it wasn't like anybody else's. I mean, they're all pretty much the same anyway, but I tried to word mine so different that it was the same. I used like completely my own emojis, copied and pasted mine.
No!
Word for word, full stop for full stop, emoji to emoji. Yeah, it was a complete exact same. And then I've left since, and I've had her literally message me again, like, "Hey, how are you? Have you got any plans for the Easter weekend?" And I'm like,
we know what you're doing.
Like, if you message me to be friend, but let's be honest, like,
you're only messaging me because you want me to be in your business.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go and do this over the weekend." I'm like, "Oh, nice. Like, I hope the weather's nice." Like, but I know what it's for. Like, my inbox is always open. Like, I don't mind anybody messaging me because like so what? But when I know what it's for, so I don't want to seem as if I'm like, "Why is she messaging me?" Because that's not it. But I know why she's messaging me.
You know what? Yeah, so you know there's an ulterior motive, and that's the thing. It's so obvious.
Yeah, and she should see, like, from previous messages me when she messaged me saying like trying to recruit me before when I was already in it. She should be like, "Oh yeah, she's not in it." But obviously I'm not in it, so I don't know if she's trying to like re-recruit me.
Yeah. So Amber is she director in training. So she's got 50 people or whatever. Well, she gets £3 for them people. So she 150 quid a month. But you've not left your full-time job for $150 a month.
I thought they were on a lot more.
No.
It was until you said like.
That's why I had to speak out, because I thought, hang on, if everybody seemed to think I was getting a load of money because I was a gold builder.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. And that was kind of the thing for me when I got to gold. And then I thought, what does this even mean? And I think it was the same for, I don't know if you remember, I had a girl in my team called Olivia. She was gold builder as well. She was traveling around the world at the time, but she got to gold builder and she left. Yeah. And I think and there was a girl called
she was traveling everywhere. I used to think, oh my god, she's got such a good life, like traveling around. I mean, she was traveling anyway, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I used to think it was because of the travel business. She used to, oh my god, how is she doing this? Like, it's so cool. Like, and that drew me in because she was in before me.
Yeah, I think I joined about the same time as her. Like, we joined about the same time. So I was like, wow, look what he's doing for her. And I'd seen, look what he's done.
Yeah.
So we were quite early, really, when we got in, weren't we?
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I hadn't seen it like on social media much when I first joined.
I'd never heard of it.
I hadn't. Whereas nowadays, everybody knows it, don't they?
Yeah. And it's so weird because like, so I'd never heard of it ever until Sophie messaged me saying, "Hi, I've got this opportunity." And when we were in one of the groups, I noticed when I got in, like shortly after, I was on the page doing some training or something, and somebody I actually went to school with had been invited into the group. And I was like, because it says like how many mutual friends are in there
in the group. Yeah,
I was like, why is this person in here? Like, and then I saw somebody like who is friends with her, who I know of. I've never met them, I don't know them personally, but she was in it. And I was like, oh, I thought I was the only one around here. And then one of my boyfriend's best friends, his mum joined it, and she was doing all the like Disney training and all that doesn't exist after you've done it. Like, I did that to start with.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did. I was like, yes, Disney, because I thought I was going to get 50. I don't know about you, but did you think you were going to get off price the Disney cruise?
Yeah, that's why I was doing it.
Yeah, same. I remember sitting and listening to Marcella saying about this off-price Disney cruise. I was like, yep, sign me up.
Yeah, literally, I was like, get me on that boat, get me on that cruise. And yeah, I know that his mum joined, and I was like, why hasn't she joined me? Because actually, like, I could have got, like, obviously it's not the way to think, but when you bar back then, you think, well, that's money that could have come to me. Like that's how you see it. It's a bit competitive in that way. And I'm so glad that she's left now. I'm guessing she's left. He hasn't mentioned it since, but I am glad that she's obviously left. And I remember trying to sign somebody up, and I did sign her up, but then she quite like cancelled it straight away. And I'm so glad she did, because I feel like you think, oh no, it's like now you realise, but back then you're like, God, join. And it is,
you think you're helping people, don't you? Because
you think you're helping people.
Yeah.
And I remember actually having messaged this girl about joining, and somebody else, she'd said no, which was like fair enough, whatever. And we do still talk now. But so somebody in the travel group was like messaging, and she and they were like, oh, she works for like this company, so she can't do it because it's like travel anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is my person, like I know it is, because that's how it makes you. Yeah, it makes you like that. And I was like, I know who it's on about. And I said, is this so and so in the chat? And I was like, shit, I shouldn't be like that, sounds really petty, doesn't it? So I deleted it straight away, and she was like, oh yeah, it is. And I accidentally put sorry, wrong chat. It wasn't, but I put that so I didn't sound like some petty cow. And they were like, yeah, coincidentally it is. So I was like, and I was like, I'm not meaning to be petty, but obviously I didn't think we could step on each other's toes like that.
There's a lot of that going on in that community.
Yeah.
A lot. I've had so many people who I'd been speaking to for like a long time who'd signed up with,
because they've got like more of a success story.
Yeah.
And they think that they'll help them better or something, I'm guessing.
I don't know, but maybe because I wasn't pushy, I sort of,
that's what I mean, like they think that they're,
I was never pushy with people, and
no,
I don't, to be honest, like I'll probably get a load of shit for this now and say, oh, that's why you didn't succeed. Like I wasn't someone that was going to sit message, like I'll talk to people because I'll talk to anyone, so I'd message and talk to people, but I didn't really feel like I had an ulterior motive. I felt like if this I saw it like as my banking job, when I used to think, right, if I can see a need to help this person, then I'll help them. So I kind of saw it like that. If I didn't see a need to help someone, I didn't ask them the question.
No.
So,
and I felt really awkward to pop it in. Like they were like, oh, just send a couple messages back and forth and then pop the question in.
Yeah, third or fourth message. And I'm like, no. And then I used to get told, well, you're making too many relationships with people. Like you've got all these.
Well, that's what I want you to do.
Yeah, you've got all these best friends, but no one wants to sign up. I'm like, yeah, but I've got friends, and that's all I care about.
And that's the thing. And this girl, like we actually genuinely, that's one thing that I am grateful for. Like I don't have a lot of friends, and we do talk like every day. We've never met, but we do talk every day now. And it's just nice that like to have someone to talk to without having to like try and shove the business down their throat.
Exactly.
And
I don't know. Well, I'm glad that we're both like out of it now anyway.
I'm so glad I'm out. Like I'm literally so glad I'm out. And I'm so glad that I can actually talk to somebody about it, because when I left, obviously I didn't really know anybody. Like I knew of you, like I looked up to you and like all that, and I was just thinking, oh, I can't message them. Like when I'd left, because obviously like everybody was succeeding, and like with you, obviously I'm probably going to get hate for like doing this for you, but I genuinely don't care. Like I don't know any of them in real life, like whatever, it's just one of them. But so because I didn't know anybody, I was like, oh, just leave quietly and peacefully, because I didn't think anybody else had the same experience, because they're like so successful. You think, oh, is it just me?
And you're told not to make a fuss as well. And you know, when Emily left, I thought, hang on, like I will go gold plus, and Emily's nearly a director, and she was leaving. I was like, she can't be earning that much money then.
No, I was like, why she left? Oh. But
yeah, and she's admitted to me now that like the most she ever earned was like £178 a month.
It's ridiculous.
And in residual income,
it's not a lot, is it, for the amount of like time that you put in?
Nah, exactly. Like the amount of time that we will never get back.
Literally, it's like so many hours of my life that I've like wasted.
Yeah. I just think, thank goodness, it was sort of in lockdown, so we didn't have anything else to do. We weren't missing out that much.
Exactly, and I should have seen it then, like, because obviously at the start of lockdown, when like travel was banned, everyone was panicking. It was like, I don't know what this means for us. And she's like, it's still okay. We can still go on calls. We can still recruit people. Now is the best time to recruit people.
The travel boom, which is still not here.
Yeah, it's still not here. And it's like, well, why was I recruiting people to then recruit people? Because like you can't sell travel.
No.
So, and I was like, yeah, it'd be fine now. I'm not at work. I've got all this time, and then I didn't even do it. Like
recruit people, and then I didn't think to recruit people into a travel business where we can't book travel.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I did try, and for anybody to be like, oh, you just failed because you didn't put the effort in. Well, I did. It just got to a point where I got so tired of doing so much to just receive nothing back. Like out of like, and that's with everything, like asking for help, putting stuff like out there on your stories, and I know you posted a lot, and like messaging so many people. Like I used to message so many people. I remember on one of the calls that you need to delete all like your dead friends, like not
that was the worst thing ever.
Yeah, all of your people that aren't going to support you. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And I deleted like all the people I went to school with, like everything. Yeah,
she used to sit and she like remove any dead ward, remove any dead people. I remember being like, do you mean dead people or just like who you don't talk to? Well, if they're no use to your business, remove them. And I was like, that's disgusting.
And I did it.
To be like, I didn't obviously remove my actual dead people, but
no.
I went through and I was like, they will never join my business. And then she'd be like, remove any males because they won't want to join the business either. So I'm like, all right, you're no good to me, deleting people left, right and centre. And then I was like, how stupid was I?
Literally, I went from like nearly 300 friends to like 90. I mean, well, no one's going to join now because I've got no people.
You haven't even got 100 people to get in the pyramid.
Literally. And I just thought, well, I can't believe I did it, but I feel too awkward to add them all back now.
Same. Well, you have to make a new account. Like me, and then I've added you to my new one.
Yeah.
I'm not in MLM anymore. It's okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. I haven't posted about it because I don't want like obviously about raising awareness. Like I'm like fine with like coming on here and stuff, but like on my I don't post anyway. I don't think anybody would care because like I say, I've deleted them all. But like I don't want people being like, because I didn't want people judging me when I joined, like, oh, she's done like this and blah blah blah. So I haven't been like, oh my god, don't join, because I feel like they're like, oh.
Well, I feel like that too. Like
I told everyone to join, and now she's like, not.
Yeah, I feel like that too. That's why I think by like actually sitting and sharing your story, then people understand like why we're saying not to join. Like we're not doing what they're doing and saying, oh no, don't listen to that person, don't talk to that person. We're just putting the information out there. And if people want to find that information and do their own research and make their own choice, then we've got it out there for them.
Because it's coming like from first hand, because like at the end of the day, like as people think that, oh, they just failed or they're lying, but what have we got to lose from lying? Like literally nothing.
No,
someone gets paid, but
someone said on like the review thing, like, oh, what do these people have from being horrible? I was like, no one's being
horrible.
Like no one's being horrible. People are just sharing their experience and their truth. And like, if you look at like me, you and Alex, so we're all completely like different ages. He's a guy, I'm older than you, and you know what I mean, like we're all I'd say we've all got our heads screwed on as well. Like we aren't like unintelligent people. That's why it's so important, because like the manipulation is just it's just like almost like we were like gullible, that like we were lied to, we was groomed.
We were lied to, and that's the thing. And obviously because like you say, there was literally nothing on it back then. Like when we were joining, like you wouldn't have thought to do research. I definitely didn't.
I remember once I found somebody sent me not long after I joined the income disclosure statement.
Oh, I didn't know anything like that. Oh, you've done your video on it. I didn't know anything about it.
I didn't. Somebody sent it me, and I sent it, and it wasn't. It's got worse over the years, actually. But I sent it to, and I said like, this has worried me a bit, and I was told that I didn't need to worry about that because it was a new company. It was a new company, so the figures weren't right. the figures weren't correct. It wasn't a full year's thing. Now I know it was a full year's thing. They were just lying.
It's actually crazy. And like with the figures, we were told like, oh, you can't post what you're earning. Well, why not?
Well, I found out since from.
I know, because no one is.
Yeah, because nobody is earning, are they?
No, and that's why, well, if you're earning, you want to show people to prove that it's not fake and it is all like real and it's all genuine. But
and as well, like, imagine getting paid on payday and then like from your job and then being like putting your like wage slip on Facebook or bloody Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, do you? Like, you get, I wouldn't go and put like, oh, thank you, Asda, for money. Or like whatever, like any, like Alex said it, like, thank you, McDonald's.
Yeah.
You earn more working at McDonald's than in Inteletravel. It's not even wage, it's more than that. I mean, I don't work at McDonald's, but you know.
And the most embarrassing thing is, like, I was being celebrated for having these travel promotions. Like, oh, hey, you've done this marble quartz booking, and I was getting 16 quid. So we're all having this big promotion and celebration for £16.
I thought it was so much more, and this is why I thought, and this is where it makes you feel like, I mean, I don't really care anymore, but like back then you feel like, oh my god, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm failing. Like, they're getting all this, and they're obviously getting all this money, and like, it's literally not true.
It's all smoke and mirrors to make it look like people are earning.
Yeah.
Same with like these other travel promotions, like the Dream Maker and stuff, because we had to pay for them. So we paid to get that promotion. Like, they don't mean, same with bronze and silver, and gold, you unlock the matrix, but bronze and silver. Bronze, you haven't even earned your sign-up fee back.
No.
The bronze builder.
No, you literally haven't.
So what we're celebrating, the fact that
you've got like 30 quid.
Yeah, it don't make any sense at all.
It doesn't. And the way that they used to get you, used to make it like, I remember you speaking about on one of your videos about like £50 is a lot of money to some people, and they were like, oh, it's just what you spend on a meal. Who goes out for a meal every month for like 50 quid? Not me.
I don't.
No, I don't either. And I remember, because I was on a really low wage with my apprenticeship, and I
remember you did a hairdressing apprenticeship with.
Yeah, I was hairdressing. And then I did move jobs and I went to another job, but I had a massive like pay cut, because that's a different story. I'm going to employment tribunal, like whatever. So I was having issues with them, and I wasn't earning a lot of money. And I remember saying to, I think I've told you, like, I said, is there any way that I can like cancel the payments and rejoin like later on, because I haven't got the time for it at the minute? And they're like, oh, I hate people who say I haven't got time. I genuinely didn't. I was working stupid. Like, hairdressing was a big demand, like when we went back, and I wasn't being paid, and I just thought I need to stop, because it's 50 quid, like I need to save one.
It's a lot of money.
Like, no. And I was like, oh, okay then. And like, obviously you've told me like you can have holiday breaks, you can. Yeah. And I was like, why would you lie to, but she doesn't know me, so what she got, like in her head she's like, oh, I don't know, she's stupid.
She desperately needed your £3 off you.
That's 3 quid, literally, my £3 she needed. That's so bad.
I'd rather just give her 3 quid and not pay 52. Save myself, save 39, here's your 3 quid.
Yeah, here's your 3 quid. You haven't. And when I left, when I left, obviously nobody knew. I didn't be like, I've left. But when I posted about TS Life, and then she was like, oh, what's going on? I said I'd left. She like unfollowed me. I haven't had many other people. Recently, I noticed, I think I told you, I have had unfollow me. And again, I don't know if it's because I posted some of your stuff, or
it will be because of that.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, why do they think I actually care? Like, I really don't. I only like kept following them to be nice. Like, as well, like I was like, oh, I don't want to unfollow them, because then my Instagram's gonna like, no, like, I don't know, not that my Instagram would be boring, because like, I don't watch what they watch, but like, I don't want them to
think that like, you've got an issue.
Yeah, think that I've got an issue with them. Like, when I haven't, like, do you? Like, I just thought I was failing, but I'm not. Like, you know.
I just think what thing that upsets me is I genuinely see all of the people in that community, apart from 3 people, as victims.
Yeah.
Especially some of the leaders, because they the way that they've told their success story, they've come from a vulnerable place. Like, you know, I won't go into this personal stuff. You know, they were in a vulnerable place, and they are being groomed by.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think that they use that as like a weakness against you. I'm like, why should that? Why?
That
That's
would
not
make.
being
Think
selfish.
about all the people that you can help when you get to direct status.
Yeah, no, it's and like so one of the things like when I messaged that I've lost like having like financial issues with my job and this, and she's like, haven't you tried to use the business for money? And I was like, yes, all the time.
You started it. You're not paying for the fun of it. Yeah. What do you think you've done?
And this is where I was just like, okay. But at that point, I knew I was leaving, so I didn't even bother like continuing on like with posting stuff on my stories or anything like that, because I knew I was leaving. I was just waiting. I thought, well, it's only 2 months away, like whatever. I can continue these couple of months to try and get my year's worth of money back. Yeah. And I remember like my friend and my boyfriend being like, "Have you not left yet?" I'm like, "No, I'm hanging on because of, you know, like waiting for this." And then obviously I tried and it didn't happen. I was like, I could have saved myself £100 if I'd have just left. But I thought I could get back. But
I think so many people have done that, you know. So hopefully, like you speaking out about that will help other people who are waiting for the year thing. Because I know a lot of people. I wish I had.
Because I didn't know about that to start with. So I knew about it when I posted it on a story. So I messaged her saying, "How do you get that? Like, how do you get the money back?" And she was like, "Well, what do you mean?" I went, "After you've been in for a year, you can get your money back if you've not made, like, you get the difference back or whatever." And she was like, "Oh, I don't know." And I thought,
exactly.
Well,
they're posting it because it looks good, but none of them know how to use it or what the conditions are for it.
No. So the only reason that I knew was because of that. And then I went onto the Inteletravel and it said, "Oh, you've got to do these certain things." And I thought, well, kind of haven't, because how can I book a cruise and it be, how can I? So I just thought they've got to allow that one at least. And no, they wouldn't. So save your money, cancel it now. Don't wait for the year.
Don't wait for the year.
You won't get it because it's in their T's and C's, like it's in their small print.
Exactly. So they won't change it. Oh no, it's there in the terms and conditions. You should have read it.
No, you won't get it back.
Well, we've been talking for ages.
I know, yeah. It's because we've got so much to cover.
I know. We'll have to do a part 2, yeah. That's
anyone wants a part 2.
It's been really nice talking to you though. And I'm glad you're doing a lot better now. And congratulations again. Let me see you ring again. Woo! That's so much better now. You're not in an MLM.
Yeah, and honestly, so much better because you just because you're not having like when you're going through a rough time with them, they're like, "Oh, that's such a shame," but you need to do business. Yeah.
I remember like when I was in hospital, like messaging, "Oh, I'm so sorry, like I'm in hospital, but I'm still doing my messages and stuff," and blah blah. I think we trust people too much, maybe.
Yeah. I just questioned. I was like, "So I have to pay to join?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's just for the insurance purposes, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, then here's my money. Come on."
I was like, "Oh, I don't want to pay." Yeah, but when you pay, you get this. Oh, all right, then sign me up.
All right, then let me come and book a holiday. And
same. And then, we're going to go on all these trips, and we're going to have all this fun stuff happen, and it was all just a ploy. Like even meetups, right? I remember. There'd been about 4 meetups arranged. So like we were supposed to go to the Christmas markets in Nottingham the other year, and
in Nottingham.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, great me about going to that, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I'd even like arranged like because my mum lives in like she lives in Solihull, so I was like, I can leave there early and come, and then like nothing was ever said about it on it, and I was like,
I was driving literally. I'd been away for the weekend, and I came back early on the Sunday. Because we were going to be meeting. I was on the way back. I've been to Skeg for the weekend. On the way back from Skeggy, and then I get a message like, "Oh, it's only going to be me, my sister, who was part of the thing at the time, and her sister." So she was like, "Oh, there's no point. Everyone's cancelled." And I was like, "Oh, well, I've drove all the way back. You know, like I would have kind of liked to have still done something, but like, everything just got cancelled, and I don't think they were ever really wanting to do anything. It was just
they just said it to like make you seem like you were friends.
Or we'll do it again next month, and then it will be we'll do that. It's everything like it's always that this will happen, that will happen, and I know that we've had the pandemic.
Yeah, but it was before like they make these plans to make it like they are your friends, and they're not.
Exactly, and that's why I genuinely thought that Grace was my friend.
So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. Again, let's send lots and lots and lots of love to Geordie, and congratulations on her engagement, and congratulations on getting out of the MLM. Really brave of you to speak out, and I'm really, really thankful for you. So thank you so much. Love and light to you all.